Welcome back to Floater Gang. We're gonna be doing a mock draft today. But to start us off, we're talking about the Bradley Beal trade. Marvin, start us off.
I think the Beal trade honestly is over. People are thinking of it as too good of a move. I think it's not actually that great of a move, and people saying the Suns being possible favorites now, I think is too far. Because I don't think them getting Beal for Chris Paul and a few depth pieces really is going to help them out that much. Because Beal lacks some things that Chris Paul didn't have. I think they'll be a better scoring team for sure, but I think they are missing other important things to help the team chemistry and just them be a good team overall. And I think that's why that could be a problem for them. But I mean, they can figure it out. They have a whole season to figure it out. But I do think there's a lot of potentially harmful things with that.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Obviously, Chris Paul is one of the greatest playmakers we've ever seen. So first thing I want to say is you said you're not ready to put them amongst the favorites or in the category of favorite. So Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker, the best offensive trio in the league.
Yeah,
I don't think there's huge debate.
I don't think there is either. I'm pretty sure.
In terms of pure offense, they're up there as the best in the league. And obviously there's arguments about chemistry wise or there's too much mid range going on or there's not a true facilitator, which is true. They don't have a true facilitator, but Devin Booker's best stretch of basketball came when he was playing.
And Booker's proving he can be a facilitator, but he just doesn't have that same mindset.
He doesn't have.
So I think that honestly isn't even the worst thing, and they still have 8-2, so I think they could look at potentially trading him for a solid good big as well. But obviously those big three are the main point that people are.
And with Aiden, Aiden's also just a scorer. He's not a playmaker. I think they should look for a playmaking big. To at least have somewhat of.
Yeah, Jokic trade him.
Oh,
Perfect.
But I think what Valentin's saying, get a big who is
Who has better court vision?
Yeah, and
Maybe like Steven Adams.
willing to make Steven Adams. That's a perfect example. He will set screens, he'll do handoffs, he'll get their guy.
He'll get every rebound too.
He'll get offensive rebounds, he'll do the dirty work, and that's something this Suns group need because they got their three guys. They got the three guys that will put them on the board, and now they need to surround them with guys that could shoot the three ball at a
I don't even think that's the biggest thing either. Because I mean, I think that helps too, but I don't even think that's one of the big things to look for necessarily.
Well,
because especially with the guys they already have on the bench, they can all shoot it pretty well.
assuming they bring back the free.
Yeah.
I think they will.
But and then I mean they can shoot the ball. They can all three of them can shoot the ball well too.
So they just need to
It gives them better opportunities.
Yes. Just get passable 3-point shooters, but more importantly, get guys that will defend the crap out of the ball. Because that was their main deficiency last year against Denver. When they won games, they outscored Denver. And obviously they're going to be outscoring a lot of opponents with those three.
Yeah.
But they're going to need to
The lack of defense.
they're going to need to defend at a high level. And that was a question mark about Denver.
Yeah.
They proved us wrong.
That's true.
Aaron Gordon.
Christian
Brown.
Bruce Brown, Michael Porter Jr.
I mean, even Jokic and Jamal too. I mean, they all stepped up pretty well.
And so they're going to need guys that can fill those type of roles, which they don't have right now. So we'll see. But overall, you were not going to get this type of piece, regardless. In free agency, Chris Paul is not this type of player that Bradley Beal is. If you kept Chris Paul. So this was the only move they got that can put them into the bona fide contender category. Depending on the free agency move they make. That's why I like this move, because it's all in. All in can be risky,
true.
But if you're not going all in with Kevin Durant, then I don't know what you're doing.
That's fair. I mean, obviously they could definitely. I mean, obviously we could test out Booker, but looking at a point guard, especially just straight up facilitator,
They still have campaign under.
wouldn't hurt. Yeah, but I mean that's it. That's all you have a guard right now. And I don't know if you want to start him necessarily either. He's proven that he can play minutes, and he can play well, but I don't know if I'd want to start him. But I think another thing the Suns need to do a lot better this year is utilize their bench and not playing Durant, Booker, and Beal 40+ minutes every game.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't help the bench when they do need to play, right? Because they're like, well, the coach doesn't want me to play. I'm not getting minutes. He doesn't trust me or whatever, right? And it's like, well, I'm not actually. You need to get the whole team involved.
I think it's also their biggest bench player in my opinion. Not to be sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's between.
Huge.
Well, so Torrey Craig.
I mean,
Yeah.
Craig.
Craig and Kobe normally start.
So Craig is essential to that.
Yeah.
He's the perfect.
I think the Kobe
breed to
too.
slot into that lineup. The Kobe.
and a defensive player.
Yeah. So guys like the coaching Craig, they need to bring back.
And like you said, campaign.
And then
you make
like
your
vets
decision.
like Jeff Green, I think would fit perfectly
Yeah, that's
into
true.
those roles.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
You
unlikely.
look at just for him.
Yeah, it's not going to get more money in Phoenix, but who knows? Him and Katie, I think it's nice. They've been, I think, each other's team program.
Yeah, and then I mean we've heard rumors too that KD's trying to bring back Russ, which I don't really see that happening.
I don't see it happening because
I'm in favor.
Russ is going to go for the bag.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that happening. I think it
I
could be
think it's a
really
great
cool
fit.
for the reunion, and I think it'd be a good fit. But I just don't see it happening because
He's a defensive guard.
they don't have any money left. And if he does, I think if he does go with little money, he probably will stay in LA.
I mean, it's just a seamless fit in LA.
Yeah,
Even if they bring in Chris Paul, I don't know if he'll want to accept.
I don't think he would if they
Eventually.
bring in Chris Paul.
So we would have to see how that works. But if he's, let's just say for the wildest of scenarios, Russ, it looks like he's not going to give the bag. So he's going to focus on going to a team that will win a championship and that he
And
fits
utilize him.
and utilize him correctly. Russell Westbrook, even though Frank Vogel and him did have some problems back in
That's true.
So yeah.
Maybe
But
he's not. as
let's just say they put it in the past. Russell Westbrook would fit perfectly into that equation. He's high energy, great defensive guard. He'll dish the rock.
He can play make. He can even grab rebounds for
He'll
you
grab rebounds, push the pace, things that Chris Paul
on both sides of the floor too.
Yeah. I mean he's pretty much what they need in terms of a point guard. If he could keep shooting like he did in LA.
And he can pull players' attention.
Yeah. Just
Like,
another guy
they're
that can create
focused
his own
on
shot.
Devin Booker or KD.
Yeah, that'd be a
Bradley
crazy.
Beal,
You know, an all-star caliber
Yeah,
player.
Beal, Booker,
And when they
Durant,
start
they don't
focusing on them, he kicks it out.
create a lot of rim pressure. Russ, all he does is create rim pressure, and he just I think it would be seamless.
I think if they get
Obviously,
Russ,
unlike-
they really could be the favorites because you just have first off, you just have so much all-star power to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you have a little more defense. You're pushing the pace more because, like I said, I don't think offense will be a problem.
Offense
they
is not
have
a problem.
Scoring
Yeah.
already, even if Westbrook only scores 5 points a game, which I mean we know he's capable of scoring way more than that. But even if he scores 5 points a game, you have Beal, Booker, and KD with your bench players who are going to score a few points too, right?
Well,
So
off the
their
last,
offense is going to be amazing. Yeah.
off the last season's points per game, the big three right now average 90 points altogether. So that's crazy. A team averages what 1 to 110 points per game, and they already have 90. That's just 3 players.
Yeah. But
Aiden will add on. and
Well,
stuff.
so here's my Ayton trade proposal that I just came up with. So DeAndre Ayton to the Grizzlies for Steven Adams and Luke Kennard. I don't know if the money works.
But the idea,
The idea,
I like the idea because
That's not-
Kennard too, great offensive player, definitely a good 3-point shooter. I mean, he had the best 3-point percentage.
He's a pretty good defender.
He's a pretty good defender too.
He sticks with him. He doesn't get any sacks. But
And then I mean, you get Steven Adams, like you said.
he's a
Aiden's
rebounding
out.
machine.
and then this is a high upside move for the Grizzlies. One, DeAndre Ayton's available, which Steven Adams has proved he's not.
Well,
a
and
lot.
the thing too is the Grizzlies have said they said they want to try starting Clark at center, but they're interested in trading Adams, which could make the trade more possible. Obviously, like you said, depending on money and things.
Yeah.
But there is potential for actual conversation with the trade like that.
But yeah, so more of the story. Obviously a point guard that can facilitate and create rim pressure. And then some
And then imagine
depth.
imagine these players with Booker playing the way he played in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, and he doesn't even have to play that.
No, he
level.
doesn't. But imagine that too.
not
It's gonna
well.
help so much more.
Yeah.
Because
If they're shooting 80% with 40 points,
KD was a bit.
Yeah, KD wasn't
Disappointing.
even.
he got rebounds. He needs to keep cracking boards the way he did.
Honestly, I think KD is less worried of scoring now. I think he needs to worry about rebounding, playmaking, and then being that third option.
And that's the
now.
great part about this Beal trade is that Kevin Durant, the load on Kevin Durant is not as high as it was in the place like Brooklyn. Where I mean, it wasn't tremendously high when he
I'm
had
like, he's
James
driving
and
Golden State.
Irving. Like Golden State's another good example. You know, they got two other guys that can explode for 50, 40,
Oh yeah.
even 70 per Booker. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll ever be replicated, but yeah, he's got other guys that can explode for these points, and Booker and Beal have missed some time. But I think
I mean,
for the most
even
part,
Durant. I mean, honestly, I think out of those three, Booker is the most reliable in health because you've seen Durant. He'll hurt his leg or something, which I mean, they're so skinny, I'm not surprised. And then he'll miss out a few games. Beal last season missed plenty of games as well. So I was worried about that a little bit too when I saw it at first, but I mean, overall, I mean, Beal's a pretty healthy player. You get injured, it happens, right?
and if they get Westbrook,
Yeah,
that's just another guy that's always healthy.
yeah, that's true. He's tremendously
Honestly,
crazy with it, especially with his explosiveness and his athleticism.
I mean, because we see guys like Derrick Rose, John Morant, they're injured.
I mean, even John Randall, honestly, his injuries haven't been like.
I think the
It's
two
like 20 games.
the two main focuses. I feel like for the
That's
Suns,
not bad, but that's not worse than that.
the two main focuses I think for the Suns is rebounding and defense. I don't think playmaking does much because
That's true.
KD's gonna start playmaking, and honestly, in the playoffs, D-Book was still playmaking.
They're
phenomenal.
yeah.
Like you driving in, it's a nasty pass in the corner. KD would hit it, Kobe would hit it. Payne was going off in that last game.
Yeah.
You know,
Playmaking is going to kind of come to you in that sense, and especially when you know you have two superstars next to you that you can also pass it to that are great at scoring.
and Beal will score at will. Like
Exactly.
There's no-
Beal, Booker, and Durant can all score at will, which could be the one potentially dangerous thing with the playmaking. But I think knowing, especially that you have two guys, and if they have a good look, it's even better than you scoring.
And then the final thing that gives me confidence in this group is Frank Vogel is a defensive mastermind as a coach. Even in LA's down year, they were still
they were just injury prone.
they were still an effective defensive team. Obviously, when they won the championship, they were an effective defensive team. That 1 year with Russ, they were less effective, but
they had no depth.
they had no depth, which also doesn't have a lot of depth. But
they have,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You just got to use it. They have
But
plenty
they-
of talent on the bench. They just have to use it and build confidence.
they
for
don't
those
really
guys.
have talent anymore.
well, if they,
I mean, they lost some of it, but I mean, like you said, a Kobe, Craig, Payne, they're all from
Damian
the bench.
Lee.
They're all good. Yeah, I mean, he's not the best defender, but he can score, and he's really good at the free throw line too. So you can definitely put him at the end of a
We
game.
can get spot.
Utah wants Nabi. I think that would be a good pickup. I think he's a free agent this year.
Oh yeah,
I think
For like the minimum. I mentioned Jeff Green.
I think Landry Shamet leaving is a big part, and I think we all agree that they need to get rid of DeAndre Ayton.
You know who they could look at picking up? Patrick Beverly,
He's not going there.
Oh, baby.
because
Not
he's
even
what they.
he'll play.
I mean, he's definitely a defensive hound that they could use, right? I mean,
I think he'll resign.
I don't think it would necessarily happen,
But
but
I
I
think that
could
would
be
be
a good piece for them.
They don't have enough money to get him.
Well, they have no money.
They don't have enough money.
No, I mean, they're going to be offering bet minimums, and Pat Bev is willing to take that to compete for a championship.
He could. He
could. But I think Chicago will give them a bigger contract. They were really good with him.
Yeah.
Well, not really, but they were solid. They were a playoff caliber team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only thing too is in Chicago right now for the past few years too, they just kind of been in a spot where they don't want to rebuild, but they don't want to full send it either.
There's been speculation that they're asking that they set an asking price for Zach LaVine, which is a step forward potentially.
Rebuilding or trying to build something else.
Yeah.
Is Reggie Jackson?
I think he might.
He was in Denver this one.
Yeah, he was in Denver.
This one.
And I know I actually heard after yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent. But I heard like after the finals, apparently he actually thought about retiring during the season due to injuries and not playing too much.
I think
So I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna leave if he does stay in the
He's a
league,
good player.
but he might just get more playing time
He
again.
gets no playing time in there.
Exactly. But
And-
I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, Suns, like the point
They
guard,
could
he
use
get-
him.
and he's clutch,
Harrison Barnes.
like on defensive side.
He's a hustler too.
That's what I mean.
yeah.
He pokes it out, gets you.
So
Right.
Malik Beasley, that's a player or team option. He has a team option. Derrick Rose,
Yeah, I mean, I
Will
don't know.
Barton.
I don't know if Derrick Rose is necessarily someone they're gonna look at.
Well, but he's the Russell Westbrook mold in terms of
That's
he
true.
gets.
Or even for a big, they
Yeah,
could even
I mean,
potentially try looking at Wood too. I don't know if that. I mean, I don't know if that would necessarily be what they
Dylan
need.
Brooks.
Dylan Brooks is another option.
Oh, yeah.
Assuming no one gives him a bag.
Yeah, but even there, I would still be careful too. I think.
Dwight Powell,
Ooh, Bruce Brown. is a
Alec
player
Burks.
option.
would
I
be
think
interesting.
interesting.
Jay Crowder.
Draymond Green declined his player option.
That's something. He's not going to.
They don't have no money.
He's
That's
not
right.
going to. But
But he could be
DeAndre
really
Ayton
good
for
too.
Draymond's son.
I don't know.
I don't know if that. how-
The Warriors seem interested in guards. Like they don't even seem to care for a center. But
Which
Who would be their center?
Chris Biombo.
Poodle, Jakob Poodle,
Oh, that's true. Poodle.
or Plumlee.
Pirtle's going to get a bag. Plumlee would be interesting.
He wants to get some.
Yeah.
Oh.
Joe Ingles.
Kuzma, he declined his player option, and Chris has a player option.
Chris Apple probably.
Let's say Jackson Hayes.
Jackson.
I think he gets potential.
Yeah, I still don't think Jackson Hayes is a bust yet. I still think he can be great.
I mean, in the minutes he played,
Yeah.
he's got some.
Paul Reed has a team
Yeah,
option.
Ishmael Smith.
Paul Reed is a restricted free agent. He could be good.
Romeo Langford. Oh, he's a restricted free agent.
Yeah.
You get George Hill at point guard.
Terrence Davis.
I think
The Kings will probably bring him back. I mean, he won't get the bag, but he'll get
George
money.
Hill. Yeah, I think he's so good. Like if he wants to play.
George Hill, I think he said he wants to stay in Indiana.
He likes
or though.
Mike Muscala. I could see.
Yeah, Alex Lynn. He's not bad.
Alex Len was a dog in the playoffs.
Yeah. When he got his minutes.
Yeah.
Or I mean, they could-
Drummond.
Yeah, so I saw that too, Drummond, but they could even potentially look at Rashawn Holmes from the Kings too. I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't get any minutes.
he doesn't get any minutes. He's pretty good at defense.
Thibault.
He knows how to play basketball.
Thibault,
Thibault plays defense.
PJ Washington.
Herb Jones is a team
Yeah, they're both
option.
restricted.
But yeah, the Suns definitely have a little bit of searching still to do. They're not done just because of that.
Udonis Haslem.
You retired, dang it. You would have been perfect. Yeah, but overall, they definitely still have some searching to do. I don't think they're completely ready for the complete favoritism. Obviously they do have the talent, but they still have a little bit of searching to do and some
Hey, they got
holes to
Doc
fill.
I do. Oh,
Yeah, but that's true. They got him on the bench too, and they have Biombo too, who they don't play too much, but if
He's old.
he's a big body and he can still play defense.
Doc Lindo in the playoffs. He was a dog.
I'll play the number 8.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, shall we move on to the mock
Move
draft?
on to that mock draft.
I'm done.
All right, so the way we're going to do it. So Valentin gets first pick.
I have
Yes.
He is first.
You got first.
Yes, third.
Okay, so we'll go first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. or
And
whatever.
there's a-
So on and so forth.
So I'll turn the table to Marvin with the first overall pick.
The first overall pick, I mean, I don't know if there's too much question about it, but I'm gonna take Wemby since he's still out there.
I don't know.
I don't know, I mean, so I was thinking maybe Cam Whitmore or something like that, but I ended up taking Wemby.
All right, with second overall pick. So
Hornets.
there's been a whole lot of speculation for Hornets draft for fit, will they draft for need, will they just draft up for talent? And I made the comparison with the Kings a year ago with Keegan Murray or Jaden Ivey, and I was a big Jaden Ivey, fit the Kings supporter. And obviously they picked Keegan Murray, which was the right fit, but I'm going to make the same mistake again this year. The Hornets are drafting Scoot Miller.
Scoot Miller, okay, they're getting both of them.
They're drafting Scoot Henderson. I think he's just too good.
I agree.
And you can't pass up on talent like that. Even with LaMelo, I think they can make it work.
I
LaMelo's a
agree.
good enough facilitator and
Look,
shooter.
you can get rid of Cherry True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dennis Smith Jr. is a free agent too. I agree. I think that's a good move for them. I think that's the way to go.
All right, third pick.
For the Trailblazers, I think there's an obvious answer there.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller.
So obviously this pick is up for possible trade.
They need a small forward.
Well, but the thing too is the Hornets one could be too if the Pelicans want Scoop, right?
Well, so I think the Hornets were reported to rather have Brandon Ingram, but
Yeah, true.
I'd be willing to trade. I think Brandon Ingram's phenomenal. I think he's
Yeah.
a freaking stud. He's underrated, but I'd trade Brandon Ingram for Scoot in a heartbeat. I think Scoot's
Yeah.
gonna be that good, and we forgot to do player comparison. But
Well, I mean, we can
can start now.
We can go back to. I mean, we've done 3 picks.
Yeah.
So Wemby player comparison.
TBD.
There you go.
There is no. Comparison.
Well, I've heard that.
Anthony Davis maybe.
I've heard.
Chet.
I don't remember what it was. I think the floor was like Brooke Lopez.
The floor.
The floor comparison.
Lottery.
And I don't remember what the ceiling one was, but I don't see him being a
Okay, a tall Barkley.
That's interesting. I don't even know how to.
Charles Barkley could shoot, and he would rebound.
I mean, he would shoot the midi. He could rebound. He would push.
I feel like that's the closest. Charles Barkley was that close.
It's just
it's just so much bigger.
I know.
though.
It's weird. That's a weird comparison.
Because Wemby, he can't really hold his own, and I mean, we've seen it.
I mean, I think too. I think he's big enough.
I
Well,
think he's gonna be great, but I mean, there's plenty of evidence out there to where he just gets bodied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems
I
he
mean-
has too, right? They're gonna get
Those
bodied.
are the.
They're great. They can play great defense, but they will get posted.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we're in a consensus. I mean, I think these guys can play center, but when you're going against the Nikola Jokic's,
You're
Giannis
gonna need a
Valanciunas,
big body.
you're going to need another big body
I think
beside them, and that's no knock on them.
Or
Zach
you
Collins
just
is a
become
good option.
strategic and double them and try to get him to give up the ball really
I mean,
quickly.
if it's like Embiid or Jokic,
Yeah.
but if
But
it's
if it's Jokic, you don't. I mean, Jokic is gonna. Someone's gonna score if Jokic has the ball.
with Jokic, you just pray. But
He just pray.
so we're so Scoot Henderson. I think my favorite comp is I've seen Derrick Rose and John Morant, but I think my favorite's Russ because Russ was, he was big, Derrick Rose and John Morant are
Maybe
a lot.
PC Rose.
I think all of them are very.
Well, I think
good
his game is most like D Rose's.
Yeah.
He's not as like downhill attack as Russ was,
Yeah.
but in terms of body type, and
Yeah.
explosiveness, I think he's really
I think out of those three, John Morant is the least like skill.
yeah, because John Morant's more. He's not power. He's more
Yeah.
finesse. But Scoot is power, but not to the extent of Russell. I think Derrick Rose is a good.
You got like a mixture of both.
His body's like Russ.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his body's more
Playstyle.
like Shaq Leonard, but his body's like Russ, and his
Play type.
play type is like Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He's a
true.
good one.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So move on to the fourth. No,
Third.
still got Brandon.
We still
Miller.
have Brandon Miller here.
My favorite comp is I've seen Danny Granger, which I think is I didn't watch Danny Granger a whole
I
lot.
only
growing
know
up.
his 2K version.
Yeah, but 2K is a freaking dog. But I think Paul George is the most logical comparison. He could dribble, he could
My
shoot.
opinion, Brandon Ingram
Brandon Ingram's an
Lengthy.
interesting one. Yeah,
can shoot. He can dunk. I don't know.
I think I like Brandon Ingram a lot. Also, Brandon Miller is a solid.
They're both Brandon too.
It's true. Brandon Miller is a solid facilitator as well as
Yeah.
Ingram.
And yeah, Ingram proved this season too that he could be a real dog.
Well, so yeah, I mean, I think a lot of just to stray off the draft for a second to focus on the Pelicans.
sorry.
But what Brandon Ingram showed, I think a lot. I mean, it was a disappointing end of the year. They didn't make the playoffs. But I have more confidence in the Pelicans than I ever did just because of Brandon Ingram's play. He
That's
was
why I don't think they
so
should trade
good.
him either because I feel like he's so important.
Yeah, I just don't think they should trade anyone.
Yeah, I think
I think
I don't
give
think
it
it's worth that
one
much. Well, for them at least, to especially trading him for two, basically.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it requires context, but in terms of talent, I would say Scoot.
Yeah. I don't think they will.
I don't think they should.
I don't think anything will end up happening. It's just a big conversation.
So I think Paul George, yeah, I think it's pretty good comparison. Brandon Ingram too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I've heard the Brandon Ingram. That's what happened with me.
I think it is too. Now let's move on to the draft, the fourth pick.
It's you.
The Rockets. I don't know. This one's kind of tough because
I think I know.
there's three guys that I would.
Yeah.
consider.
there's a few good players out here. They kind of have pieces too. So it's not even necessarily like you should get a fit piece necessarily. It's more of just getting, I guess, bench almost at this point because I feel like they kind of have all the pieces they need. And it's tough, honestly. I don't know, but I'm gonna go with Amen Thompson.
Okay.
Good pick.
He's proven that he's athletic. He obviously he can play make, he can
He's
score.
got defense.
His 3-point percentage obviously isn't the greatest right now. I think that will improve.
I think it'll improve a lot.
He seems like such a good basketball player that will just improve and he will work for it, especially once you're in the NBA gym with that team, right? I think that'll just kind of automatically make him work harder, make him work more for it. So I think Amen Thompson for me is the number 4 pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Amen Thompson to me has the second highest ceiling in this draft. It depends on where he gets if he can prove that.
Do you think the second height? You think his ceiling's higher than Scoot?
I do just because of his height.
Okay.
Because he's a great playmaker, mad explosive, great defender. Obviously shooting's a huge question mark. So I think my comp right now would be just a 6'7" John Morant.
I feel like I know this might be like a crazy comparison. I'm not gonna say he's gonna be as good as him. But LeBron James can play any position, and at point guard, I feel like that would be
Or like a Ben Simmons, or like a small Ben Simmons.
Oh, I think the Ben Simmons one actually is better. Oh, he's obviously a better shooter, and I think he will be a better shooter. But I actually like that one a lot. I think that one because he's really good. He's shown he's good at defense as well.
I don't know. And then it's just like a kind of weird player. Like, there's no player that's really ever been like him,
except for his one. But yeah, not that I can think of at least. Feel free to comment whatever you think is a good comparison for him or anyone else too. You got
So
that
I'll move on to Detroit with the 5th pick. This one is another tough one. So I think they got the majority of the core, Cade and Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren.
Maybe just that small forward because they might lose Boyan and he can go for guys.
Well, I think the
But
two forwards
overall, I
are
think-
the places that they're lacking in most.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pick a guy that can really fit in both roles and Cam Whitmore. The first word that comes to mind when you think of Cam Whitmore is power. He's big, he's explosive, he can get by it, he could go through you, he could jump over you. He's a solid shooter. He's got some work to do in the playmaking areas. He's really raw, so he's going to take a minute, but the Pistons have time.
And Villanova had nobody.
Yeah, they were really not that good, and especially with point guard play with Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham.
I think that's going to be a great.
He's going to have all the open looks he wants. I think it's just the best fit for both the Pistons and Cam Whitmore.
I think that's a really good fit too. Like you said, he's big. They have some big bodies, honestly. Now, that's the only thing that kind of worries me about them. Do they have too many? Right? Because they got Wiseman at the trade deadline too, which I honestly didn't think was a good move for them. But I think Cam Whitmore is a good pick there. Obviously, there's whatever they do.
Yeah.
We'll see
Comparison.
Yeah. So my comparison.
I don't mind.
Well, I like Anthony Edwards personally. He's bigger than Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is quicker, but in terms of just the way they move, their jump shot kind of looks similar.
Their build is kind of similar.
Yeah. I don't think Cam Whitmore will be quite like the franchise changer Anthony Edwards is, but I think he could replicate some of his scoring and his explosiveness.
I think like Russell Westbrook, man. He just when he gets to the basket, he's gonna dunk it on something.
Yeah,
and he's explosive.
Besides the playmaker.
He needs to
but
be a
yeah.
playmaker. I think he become a rebounder because he's so aggressive.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna learn.
It
that.
might be hard in Detroit though, but he can.
He's gonna learn that when he's. In
Yeah,
the
I mean,
league.
he's got some elite rebounders.
Yeah.
The defense is another, kind
He
of
can
highlight
block.
for him. I mean,
He gets up
I mean,
there.
he's not a consistent defender, but he's not
Yeah.
really consistent on anything. He's so young.
Yeah.
But he can be just a really good defender. Anthony Edwards, throughout the year, showed that he could be a really good defender. So I think Cam Wentworth could fall right in his footsteps.
Yeah.
6 real quick, Valentine's got this one.
Orlando Magic.
Zar Thompson. I think he just fits in. They don't need a big. They need a forward. In my opinion, I think they should play him a small forward because that's what they need the most, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's got the play. He can score. They kind of mainly need that, and I think he will learn to take over with Paolo. I think they're ready.
Yeah,
And start
and
going
unlike-
on a win streak.
and unlike his brother, he doesn't have a super efficient jump shot, but he's shown lots of flashes. He's not as great as a playmaker. I think he's a better defender.
Oh yeah.
He's not as athletic. So I think he's a lot like an Andrew Wiggins. He's going to be a reliable scorer, a reliable defender. He's going to be a reliable shooter. He's not quite going to reach the star potential that his brother or some other players that picked before him. But he's going.
Which is why he's not right there.
Yeah, exactly. But he is going to be just super reliable. Assuming he reaches that point.
Yeah. And I do have to disagree. I mean, I think the pick is fine, but I think you keep him at shooting guard because you have Franz too. And I think you keep him at small forward and instead of pushing him to shooting guard. But I think you could try him. I mean, you could probably try.
That's the beauty of the Magic. They got so many players that can play.
That can play multiple roles. Yeah, that's true. But that's what, because I honestly forgot about Paulo. And he said, I was like, okay, so we're playing Franz and power forward. And he said Paulo, and I was like, they have Paulo too, so you might not do that.
They're loaded with talent. I mean, in terms of young cores, I think they're right up there with San Antonio and Oklahoma City. And the Pistons. The Pistons got a nice. I mean, if Kate,
I mean, and even the Pacers too. Most of the young cores we have right now, they're all looking really nice.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, even Charlotte too.
I think the Pacers need to show some versatility in their young core.
Yeah.
In terms of they have a lot of good guards.
Well, exactly, but they need forwards.
Yeah.
That's
And
the big.
you're in position and Rockets, but they haven't shown.
They haven't shown.
I think they're one of the.
Yeah,
Marty Eason was good.
he was
Taylor
over.
Martin showed up.
Jalen
I
Green.
believe so.
Jalen Green's got to get consistent.
Yeah, but he's good. He's explosive.
KPJ has shown a lot of potential, but I think they're a little lower just because they haven't shown quite as much together but as the other teams.
You got to go for it. All right,
Yeah.
you're in position to take that forward.
Number 7 Pacers.
I think there's an
Um,
obvious one.
Like we said, they could use a forward. I really like this guy. I think he's a really good fit for them. I'm gonna take Taylor Hendricks for the Pacers. I think he's a really good fit in Indiana. He plays that forward position. He's pretty tall, lengthy. He can shoot pretty well. He's pretty aggressive. I think, especially because power forward, he plays power forward for the most part, and that's what they need the most. Because especially if they keep Buddy Hield, you have your small forward. You could start Nemhard at shooting guard, right, like they did. You have Halliburton, you have Matherin. I mean, that's who plays small forward too, point guard. You have Turner at center. I think it's a perfect fit for the Pacers. Exactly. He literally slides right in. They'll start him right away, and I think he'll fit in really well with them.
Yeah. So I like the pick a lot. He's a big body, another big body than you. I mean, currently they're playing what's his face? Aaron Neesmith as power forward. Yeah, I mean he's going to fit
He's good too.
right in there. I mean he's a high floor, not necessarily low ceiling because I think he could be like a Jamie Grant level player, who's my comp for him. But I mean he's just the ultimate player that fits to the system perfectly, and I think it's a great fit.
And I feel like he already seems pretty mature too in the basketball sense too, that he won't have to like totally flip a game or flip a switch or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, and then in Valentine, I saw you look like you disagree with that a little bit. What's your reasoning there?
I don't think he's big enough.
In
Like
terms of-
size wise.
Yeah. I mean,
he's too skinny.
I think Jerice Walker
Yeah, I was
Uh,
thinking Jerice Walker.
is another guy I had in mind. I mean, he played a lot of. He played big a lot at Houston, and he's only 6'7", but he's a grown man, and I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's
That's a big boy.
yeah, I think he's like a. Well, I'll save my comment.
It's a but I think Taylor Hendricks, he's a mobile.
That's interesting.
He can shoot.
Yeah.
He can block really well.
I think
It's a shorter mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's still six. I mean, he's still tall. But
Like Bobo had that place. I don't know.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
a
I like the
advanced.
I think he's a worse handler but a better shooter than Bobo was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So I have 8 now. The Washington Wizards, which is it's a weird pick. So they just traded Bradley Beal. They're kind of just restarting.
they're
tearing it
basically
down.
restarting because they have Chris Paul. They're looking to trade him. Kuzma decline.
Yeah,
Like
Chris
you said,
Paul. I
you
mean,
think
Chris
Kristaps
Paul
will decline as
decline.
well. So you might be losing all the guys you had.
Is it Johnny Davis's
You have
rising moment?
Johnny Davis.
Johnny Davis. Here we go. And then who you gonna pair him up with?
So
Monte Morris.
if Bradley Beal didn't get traded, I pick here would be Jerice Walker.
Oh, he
But
got traded.
he got traded, so I think they got to go high upside. So my pick is Anthony Black. Great defender, great passer, good rebounder for his size. I mean, he's a 6'7" point guard, but he gets lots of rim pressure. He's explosive. Not a great shooter, but we've seen guys like like Josh Giddey, for example. He's an improving 3-point shooter. He came in with he can't shoot mantra kind of. So I think he could improve that area of his game.
You know who he reminds me of? Penny Hardaway.
That's good.
Size, how he plays when he drives. He wasn't the greatest shooter.
But he was playing out at Arkansas, and with the Arkansas group that they were not going to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Penny Hardaway, I think, is the closest.
So you've got the Jazz at 9.
Ah. I think I'm gonna go Grady Dick. I think they need a shooter besides Lord Markkinen. Sexton, he can shoot. I think he's better mid-range shooter. He's not much of a 3-point shooter.
They might deal so.
And
Clarkson.
they kind of put him on the market too.
Yeah, and Clarkson, he's good.
Inconsistent.
But I think Grady Dick can also learn a lot from these Jazz guys.
And they're all pretty young too, so fits in pretty well.
I think he'll be perfect with them.
I like the pick. He's going to be really good. I mean, he's going to be
Oh,
like a
God.
Buddy Hield level. I think.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he. I mean, people often call him out on his defense, but he's a solid defender. And he's a great team defender in terms of he makes the right, lateral movements. He makes the right switches. He's just, not the most athletic guy. But yeah, I think he'll be really good. Elite shooter. He could catch it right here, and then just release it. That's an elite skill.
Yeah.
I my comp for him, kind of like prime Bogdanovich. Yeah. That 1 year with the Hawks when they made the conference finals, he was something else. So I think he could be kind of that level player consistently. He's got some creation to tap into, I think. And I think Utah's the perfect place to do it, along with Markkinen. They still need a solidified point guard, and I think there was some that he could take here, but I like the pick. I think he's a talented player besides Jerice Walker on the board, but they don't really need Jerice Walker.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
My comparison is Klay Thompson. Catch and shoot. Boom,
Yep.
it's right there. And honestly, they can both they're playmaking, and I think the first time he drives up, gives someone, cuts through, go to the corner or something.
Yeah.
And Klay Thompson is underrated for dunking and like driving abilities, and Grady Dick has that like same kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I just think they play very similar.
Yeah, I know you didn't make this comparison, but I like the Buddy Hield one actually. I think that's a good player comp. Because Buddy Hield too, I mean, he's not just, I mean, he's really good at scoring and shooting, right? But he's got good other attributes as well. And I think, in my opinion, I think Buddy Hield's really good comp there.
It's so unique with Grady Dick because he's so young,
Mhm.
but he's such a high floor type of guy. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a good shooter
He's tall.
and he's tall. And that's always going to be reliable. Even Luke Kennard, even if that's his floor, Luke
Yeah.
Kennard is getting rotational minutes on the
Okay.
2 seed, and he was great.
And he ended up with the best 3-point percentage shoot, which that's always a good thing. Too.
Yeah.
Was it
And
52 or something like that?
and
right?
Brady did, playing at Kansas, he didn't have the same type of 3-point threats that he's going to have in the NBA.
Mhm.
Especially at Utah. He's going to have Larry Markin, Jordan Clarkson. Depending on if they keep Clarkson, I don't know if they'll go all in on a rebuild or try to build for competing again.
Maybe they try to trade Clarkson for a better, more solid point guard. Or something.
I don't know.
Especially if they do draft it,
Yeah.
right?
So you got 10th with the Mavs.
The Mavericks.
It's another trade candidate, by the way.
It is, and it's an interesting pick too. Just looking at the Mavs situation. They're looking to trade Wood. They already need bigs, and they're trading one of their bigs who they stopped playing minutes for some weird reason. Kyrie's a free agent. You don't ever know, even if you would say he's resigning, you don't know if he's resigning or not. You just don't. So all you really have right now is you have Luka, you have
Tim Hardaway
Tim Hardaway Jr., Josh Green, Hardy, who are younger guys, all guards. Their bigs are Kleba, Bertans. You kind of weak there.
That is a rough roster.
Dwight Powell. I mean,
Free agent too.
that's true. He's a free agent too. So my pick is who you said was the best talent to out left is Jarius Walker. I think. He's a pretty big body. I am kind of skeptical about this, but I don't know who else I'd pick above him.
Well, so
He got 6.8 rebounds. He's got, like I said, a big body. He's not super versatile and agile, but he's agile enough, I think, especially for the height that he lacks, to be able to still grab boards. He can score. His assist number isn't too high, but I don't think it needs to be. Knowing you have Luka on your team, and then especially if you're just kind of playing big, and if he does end up being too short, right? I think he'll figure out, hey, I have Luka too who can score. Josh Green showing he can score. Hardaway can score, right? He might just figure out too, hey, I can't have a good shot. I've got plenty of other guys who can shoot for me. So I think if he does need to pass the ball, he'll learn kind of just in the situation that that's.
Well, so I like the pick. So the thing about I think they do end up trading this pick just because all the guys on the board, none of them are exactly NBA totally ready. But Jarius Walker, like you said, he's got the versatility. He's developing his jump shot. He's a big body. He can get boards. I mean, he's kind of exactly what he's like an Aaron Gordon type move. I think he's less athletic than Aaron Gordon, but he's that type of guy, and that's something every contending team wants. And I think the Mavs would love him. It would just take a bit, and I don't know if they want to take a bit.
That's true.
That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, you really you don't know what the Mavs are trying to do right now. Either.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying too. Right? I mean, you have Luka and you have young guys, but besides that,
So here's the thing I respect about a team like OKC. So we've seen Minnesota. They had a young star that was doing good, and they had a young core, and they're like, all right, let's trade our future for Rudy Gobert. We believe we can win this young core. I mean, obviously the experiment isn't totally over, but it's looking like a complete disaster.
Yeah.
Luka was super young, and they're like, all right, we're going to cash in our picks on Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, I think it would have worked if Kristaps could stay healthy.
And I still think it kind of did. I still think
I think they gave up on it too soon.
Yeah.
But
I know he wanted to leave a little bit too, but it worked, I think.
Yeah. But OKC, they're patient. They have their young star, but they're patient, and now they're looking better set up than anyone else. And that's the thing I don't want the Spurs to do with pick. I mean, I think getting some vets isn't a big issue, but trading your future for those vets, I think is the issue.
That's the issue, yeah.
And that's why the Mavericks are in such a weird spot right now. They got a young star, but in the rest of the rosters, dirt old or super young.
Or super young and still growing. Yeah. And then you have Tim Hardaway Jr., who you don't know if you're getting a 10% shooting night or 80% shooting night. But yeah, and then Valentine, you have the Magic have another pick.
They got a comparison.
Oh,
Oh, I
we
said
have-
Aaron Gordon.
yeah, you said Aaron Gordon. You want to do comparison?
He plays like Kenny Lofton Jr.
Interesting.
I like the comp, but it is an interesting comp, especially with him playing one season and only playing so much.
I said his play style.
Yeah, that's why
I
I'm
think
saying
I Lofton's a better
like the comp
offensive player,
overall.
but Therese Walker.
And Jerice is probably more agile too, but I like Kenny too a lot. And Deacon, you have the Magic next. And in this case, they already drafted Star Thompson. What else are you taking?
I mean, so this is a good problem to have. They just got so much talent in this roster. I don't know. They don't have many holes to fill that we haven't already filled. So I think I'm just going to go. Well, I think their one major hole is shooting. You know, they don't have a good shooter.
And unfortunately, they ended up being taken already.
But
so
I'm gonna
can't
take the
it.
second best shooter in this draft, and that is Jordan Hawkins. He's a sniper. We saw in UConn. We saw all throughout the tournament. He can move. He can spot up. He can create off the dribble. He's explosive to an extent, getting to the rim. He's not the greatest finisher, but he's young and he's kind of out of control a lot of times. He's only 20. He's also a thinner frame. I think he could fill out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I really like his potential. Reminds me of like a Jordan Clarkson type, to an extent. He's bigger than Jordan Clarkson is. I don't know. He's really. I really like him in this Magic core in terms of, you know, you got a lot of guys that can slash, that can create out the dribble. You know, Markel, Franz, even Azor, and then you got Apollo, obviously. And then adding
And
Jordan
even
Hawkins.
Wendell Carter Jr.
Even Wendell too, yeah. And then you got Jordan Hawkins coming off screens and sniping it.
Mhm.
You know, I think it's a good fit.
He's the next Tracy McGrady for the Magic.
That would be interesting. I don't think he's that high potential. I don't think he has that type of potential, in my opinion.
I don't think he'll be average, like his play style. Like,
Yeah,
I think
as
he'll
a
get
player
close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
Alright.
And I mean, unless you have any other comparison, Valentine's up next with Thunder, pick 12.
I think Derek Lively,
Interesting.
a true center. No offense to Chet Holmgren, you'd be better as a power forward. As of right now, you might be better as a center long term, but as of right now, you need to play power forward in my opinion because you're a shooter. Shoot lights out. Derek Lively's gonna help you with those rebounds. You know, you got Shea Gilgeous at point guard, Josh Giddey at shooting guard, Ludor small forward. That's just a crazy line to deal with. You know, you got two crazy tall bigs, shifty point guard, crazy playmaker who can also rebound, Josh Giddey, and you got a defensive demon, Ludor. Like that's just a crazy vibe right there. And I think,
And then you got J-Dub and Isaiah Joe.
yeah, off the bench, in my opinion, I think they should come off the bench. I think they'll be stronger that way. Because then they'll be hitting off scoring from the bench and starting roster, and there's got a lot of attacking options. There's got a lot of options in general than I think with Derek Lively.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, I'm a big Thunder fan. So as a Thunder fan, I think I prefer Kubali.
Coulibaly.
He's really good in my opinion. Derek
I like
Lively
Coulibaly
is
a
definitely up there. Prospects I want. You know, he's kind of exactly what I'm missing. And I think Chet eventually can be the type of guy. Like in terms of, you know, our center that kid. But like he said, he's really small right now. But at the end of the day, I think you know, Derek Lively he has a ceiling offensively. He can't shoot. You know, he's very raw. He's not a great finisher. Most of his potential comes around the defensive end where he's elite. You know, and I just don't think that is exactly what the Thunder are going to go for. I mean, I could definitely see the perspective, and I've seen that a lot of experts mocking there. But in my opinion, I think they go for like another forward, and then they just work Chet into that role.
Yeah.
Maybe by bringing in like a low end vet to take the brute of the big guys.
Yeah.
like we said earlier, with Wembanyama. But yeah, I think you want to just roll Chet out as the long-term 5.
Yeah, I think with this pick, I agree with both. It just kind of depends on what they're looking at, because if they're not looking at getting another big to help with brute force for Chet, I think Lively is the better pick. But I think if they do look for that and can get that, I think Koulibaly would be a great pick.
Yeah.
But in the situation they're in right now, not knowing what they're gonna do, I think Lively is a great pick. Obviously, they have their insides, we don't.
Yeah.
They know what they're trying to do. But I agree with both points. I think they're both great points. And then who are your player comps for him?
Steven Adams.
Lively,
Mm-hmm.
Steven Adams. A taller.
Yeah.
Steven Adams.
and obviously the thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Derek Lively. I think I heard a Tyson Chandler comp, which I think is good. You know, he's great shot blocker. He's sturdy. He's always going to affect shots. I mean, he really has potential to be elite on the defense.
He wants those rebounds.
Yeah, you know, he's aggressive. You know, he's really tall. He's going to be really good. I mean, it's kind of like Walker Kessler. He was kind of in the same mold.
Yeah.
But he was overlooked a lot, fell, and he's arguably the third best player that's played. Or that
Yeah. She's
the
like
third
top
best
5.
rookie. The
Top
third best
5,
rookie
yeah.
last year.
For sure.
Well,
Well, he was first team, right? I think.
yeah, he was first.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he was third in rookie.
Yeah, that's true. That's
behind
true.
J-Dub and Paul, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I like that. I think that's accurate. And then Steven Adams too, like you said, skinnier obviously, but still a good comp.
But at the end of the day, that front court of Chet and Derek Lively, and then you got Lou Dort,
Exactly.
even Shea's a good defender, Giddy's solid,
J-Dub's a good defender.
J-Dub off the bench.
I mean,
I think eventually J-Dub would start over Dort
yeah.
after when
I think it would depend on what. I think they'll try a few
I
things.
think the minutes will be even though.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
they
it
want
would be Giddy or Dort, and then probably try a few rotations and see what kind of works better. I could see either one of
That's
them.
a scary 5 to go up again.
Giddy coming off the bench.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be either Giddy or Dort, I think.
That's a scary.
Or I mean, honestly, it could even be Lively, right? You could have
Yeah.
Chet start at center and then Lively.
I mean,
Or, yeah.
like I said with the Magic, there's nothing wrong with having too many good players. And I
Just gotta know how to use them.
Especially younger players, right?
Yeah.
Because that way you
Just
have.
gotta know how to use them.
yeah.
That's a scary team.
And at the end
to
of the
go.
day, Derek Lively is likely the best player on the board, besides, in my opinion, Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lively would be a great pick too. I wouldn't be upset with that at all.
Yeah,
I like
he would-
Koulibaly a lot too.
He would be up there. I mean, if Thunder pick Derek Lively, I won't be a lick mad. But in my opinion, I would. The
If
player
you
I
were
desperately
drafting,
want.
you would take Koulibaly.
Yeah, exactly. But Derek Lively is a perfectly good pick.
Yeah.
Um,
I have the Raptors next at pick 13.
Raptors.
and this is an interesting one because we don't know what they're going to do this season.
We don't know what they're gonna do. Poodle's a free agent.
Van Vliet.
Or Van Vliet's a free agent, right?
Gary Trent just accepted his option.
Yeah. And so I feel like they have most things that they need except a good point guard. I think they're kind of missing something there. And I was gonna pick someone else, and then I thought about that, so I changed my mind, and I'm gonna end up going with Jalen, you know. I think he would be a good fit in Toronto, especially with their needs. He's great offensively, can pass the ball, can shoot the ball. I think he'd be a great fit to put at that number 1 spot for the starting lineup.
So great.
Pass the ball out to Trent, OG, and then depending on if they keep Poodle, you still have Poodle, Boucher, Scotty Barnes. You have plenty of big guys to feed it to as well. So I think he's a great fit there. What do you think?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, you said it all. I think he's the best point guard left, along with Casey Wallace. But yeah, he's going to fit right in to what the Raptors need. and what they're I think what they're kind of going for. It's just big, long, and yeah, he's a good defender too. Yeah, I really like the pick. What would you say his comp is?
Well, Valentine looked like he disagreed with that pick a lot.
I think he just won.
I guess he just said you don't want him in Toronto, or you want him.
I hate Toronto.
So
They
you
don't know
just
how
don't,
to
you just
develop
don't want him.
players.
So you don't want him in Toronto, but
Well,
you agree with the pick.
Dylan Trevino, I don't think he'll be good with the Raptors because they don't know how to develop guys properly, and I don't think he would thrive. with
Well, I
any
don't
of
think
the
their
players.
current system's not good for developing guys because they're all the same.
Yeah,
And
but-
I don't see him doing good with anyone on the Raptors.
but here's the question.
Yeah,
But here's the question:
That's all Dylan Trevino does.
if you're Toronto, would you pick him though?
Absolutely, he's the best player.
Probably.
Exactly.
Case of Wallace.
Cool body.
I was thinking about taking Koulibaly. He was the one that I was thinking about taking, and then I was like,
But yeah,
they don't need that. They don't need him as much.
If they want someone to stick in there,
And then I thought Hood too, so I was
they
like,
want someone to stick in there play time. Case of Coach Fino plays nothing like the Raptors. That's why I hate it.
but I think also it like a pick with Chipino, and if they possibly move off Siakam, I heard there's rumors. I think shifting your future with a Chipino and Scotty Barnes focus,
With
even
OG,
you could keep OG.
yeah.
I mean, I don't see a reason why they would trade him.
Well, I think they actually said that they want to keep OG, right?
Yeah, which is the
So-
right decision. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it was
agree.
kind of ridiculous that they were thinking about it in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, build around that core, get shooters. I mean, Gary Trent's a good shooter.
I just hate anyone that's in the Raptors.
He's a Raptors hitter, I guess.
I don't like the Raptors that much either, but if I were the Raptors, I think that's.
They're just not good.
I mean, they're just mediocre.
In a sense of basketball, they're not good.
Yeah.
Like whatsoever.
That's true.
All right.
But
Player comp.
yeah, player comp.
I love this. Jamal Crawford.
I think that's a good one.
Do you have a different one too, or you want to stick with that one?
I think Jamal Crawford's perfect. I mean, big guard that could shoot, score, pass. He's got a bit of
Handles, man.
yeah, he's got flair for
Got a good bag.
the dramatic, and yeah, I really like him. I really like that. Comp.
I wasn't sure if that was the word you're looking for, but I tried anyways. That works.
So 14 with the Pelicans. It's your pick.
That's your pick. I just took.
Oh, you just took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 14 with the Pelicans.
Gosh, I don't know.
So
I know.
I think I might.
I'm gonna take Case from the loss. So
That's Edward.
Yeah.
they need a point guard. In my opinion, CJ's not the guy.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Case and
CJ
Wallace.
is a shooter.
Case and Wallace.
Honestly, in this case, if Chipino still out, I would take Hood, but I took him.
Yeah.
Would you still take Casey Wallace if Hood was out there?
No.
Would you take Hood too?
I think Hood should be
perfect.
But Case and Wallace, absolute stud of the defender. Really good knockdown. Really good catch and shoot shooter. Still working on his isolation game, follow-up game. But you got Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, if Zion plays to create shots. I mean, he's just, for right now at least, he's going to fit perfectly into the really good point guard mold. The Marcus Smart. I think if he could leap into the Drew Holiday stratosphere, I think that's where he can get to.
Mhm.
It's going to take some work, but I think he's a really good player. You can never go wrong with picking a defensive high IQ guy like him. And the Pelicans, they need
They could use a little help on
Yeah.
defense on the backcourt.
well, you got Alvarado, but besides that,
Yeah, I mean,
and Casey Wallace is big. He's like 6'4", 205, I think. If you want to check those measurements. But yeah, he could guard the bigger guys.
6'4", 193.
192.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 205.
You were 10 to 12 pounds off.
I was overestimating him, but
He's still pretty big. He's still pretty big.
That's a
though.
big fella.
yeah. And his hair makes him look even bigger. So
That's true. But yeah, I think that's a good pick. Player comp for me, honestly, I like the Smart. I think Marcus Smart's a good player comp.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would like Drew Holiday or if you have someone else in mind, but I like Marcus Smart, honestly.
yeah, I mean,
On that one.
I think I like those two comps. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Drew Holiday because first of all, the hair, and puts you to sleep. But yeah,
I'm trying to think who he plays like.
I mean he's just such a high IQ guy. I really like him. I mean
I was gonna say Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen is interesting. That's also I hate Grayson Allen, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, I'm making it hard.
But there is definitely similarities.
Cause they got them dog and
Yeah, Grayson Allen's got the wrong type of dog.
not anymore. He's a good person.
And I mean, Grayson's
He's
better.
good
shooter.
little fella.
Grayson's a good shooter too, for sure.
For
But
sure. Yeah, they play very similar.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And Kayson's not, the elite distributor.
And not
Or
one-on-one
he-
guys.
Yeah, and he's not the type of distributor that Coach Shafino quite is. He could probably eventually get there.
He's just not as flashy.
yeah,
So you got 15 to the Hawks. And then after that, I think we'll just start rattling off.
yeah. Yeah. So we'll just do 15
Um,
Hawks now.
Koulibaly.
Great pick.
Yeah,
Hawks.
that's
I mean, he's.
I don't like the
DeAndre
Hawks, but I think that's a great pick.
Hunter, I think needs to go as much as I love DeAndre Hunter. I think he's actually a really good and talented player, but he just doesn't fit with the Hawks organization.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of in a weird spot. But
Yeah,
to speak on Koulibaly,
Love that guy.
ultra athletic, great defender, really improving shooter. He could slash, he could play make. He's shown flashes of playmaking. Good rebounder, especially on the offensive glass. Yeah, he's kind of just, I wanted him in my Thunder. He's just the perfect. He does everything. It's really a perfect player for Atlanta. Kind of the player I think they're missing. I mean, I think they need to upgrade pretty much everywhere besides point guard and shooting guard. But yeah, Koulibaly I think is perfection for that team.
Yeah, I like that pick. I don't like the Hawks, but I think that pick would be a very good pick for them. Help them out a lot. He hustles, gets boards, can shoot pretty well. I mean, he's a pretty good overall player. And then, I mean, like you said, they have Hunter, but you think he should leave, and especially if they do trade him, he's the perfect fit. Put him right in there and start him.
Alright, so now we'll just start. Did we give a player count for him?
I have one. Ron Paul George
Brian Paul George, interesting.
Wow.
on the Pacers, man. Yeah, very simple. I think they're very
If
simple.
he could reach that spot, I think he could absolutely get there. So I really like that.
How they play.
Right now, I think I'd probably go Mikal Bridges, who's I think is the tier below Brian Paul George. But I think he's definitely more athletic than Mikal Bridges. But
That's what I thought. PG.
yeah.
Because I think McCollum and PG are also pretty similar, but
Yeah.
defenders, just PG is more athletic.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he could get to a really high level. I mean, Wembanyama says he should be a top 5 pick. Definitely no bias right there. But
No, obviously, I mean, why would there be? They
Yeah.
play on the same team as friends, right? Like,
all right, so now we'll just start rattling off some prospects. Do you have any idea of who you think should go to Jazz?
the Jazz have the next pick. Oh boy.
If you don't, I got some.
No, I mean I can't right now. I mean, unless maybe. What do the Jazz?
Well, so I think I'll take the next best point guard on the board, who's Kobe Buffkin out of
Michigan?
Michigan. He's a good shooter, good slasher. Really efficient in the paint. So I think he's still working on playmaking, but I think if he could get there, he could be the point guard of the future for the Jazz. Good comparison for him, Jordan Poole. If he gets to the level, I think he could get maybe like a last year's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander type guy. I think you're better 3-point shooter though.
More consistent.
More consistent. There you go. Lakers at 17. This is interesting. Who are you thinking?
Jet Howard.
Jet Howard. Good. Who are you thinking?
I was thinking. I mean, for them, right? If they get D'Lo or Reeves back, possibly Keontae George.
Yeah.
But
But
if
yeah.
they get both those guys back,
I
then they
think
really don't.
I think they'll get them back.
And I mean, they seem really strong on getting Reeves back. D'Lo, I haven't heard too much about. I don't really think they care too much right now about him. I think they're more focused on Reeves. But I think if they get both of them back, there's really no point.
But yeah, like a guy like Jet Howard, expert marksman shooter, can create a little off the dribble, a good secondary playmaker. I mean, he kind of fits. And he's not the best defender, but you can always use a guy like Jet Howard. I like the pick a lot. Miami at 18. Who are you guys thinking?
Miami at 18. I don't know. I mean, I know they're looking at some trades.
Mhm.
So I mean, I
Uh,
guess for them, right, they'll only be able to know so much too because I don't know what they're gonna get back or who they're trading away.
the crazy report that came out recently was the Blazers are looking to
Get
trade for
Bam.
Bam.
But they also don't want to give away Dame, which is the one person that they want to get.
Yeah. So
So I don't see that happening. Especially with Bam's finals performance. I mean, even playoffs overall, he had bad games, bad rounds, but I just don't see that happening.
all right, I'm gonna throw this pick in. It's gonna be a curveball. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Olivier Maxence Prosper out of Marquette. He's a 4-man. My comparison for him is a big Lou Dort.
Big Lou. Who was player comp for Jet Howard? Did we have one for him?
I don't know.
Keegan.
Keegan. That's a good comp.
Keegan.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Keegan Murray I think would be a good comp for Jet Howard. But Olivia Maxence Prosper, big body, decent shooter, still working on it, just like Lou Dort. But he kind of fits the Miami mold. He's probably projected to go a bit later, but he's a power forward. Miami's kind of weird, but Miami, they were bullied
Yeah.
and they need big bodies.
And they started Martin at power forward, but personally, I
He's a
prefer
small
him
forward.
being a small forward.
But Prosper,
So-
he's that big body, but also like a Lou Dort, he could chase a guy around the court through screens.
Yeah.
I think he's the most underrated player in the draft to me. Like I wouldn't be shocked to go close to the lottery. I don't know. I
mean, we have him 4 picks outside of the
Yeah.
lottery for Miami.
So I think this is a good spot for him. He has a huge need in Miami. I think he fits it.
Marquette always builds great defenders.
Exactly. And he's got the Jimmy Butler connection, the Dwayne Wade connection.
Yeah.
I think it'd be an interesting fit. Golden State at 19. What do we like?
Considering what I said earlier with them liking their guards, we could put Brandon Podziemski on there.
Yes.
And I think I might have actually heard some rumors about them possibly getting him too, which is I think part of why I said that too. He looked really nice. You've seen, I mean, J-Dub was from Santa Clara too,
I would.
and from last year. So I mean, there could be some right.
I also
I
like.
like Chris Murray.
Yeah, I was about to say I also like Chris.
Yeah, that's true.
They need.
A bigger guy, especially if it's
They
Draymond.
just- They like them too.
Yeah, they like them shooters. Draymond seems to be out, so you could replace him at the position there.
Yeah. So I think we'll go Keegan Murray.
Chris Murray,
Chris Murray.
who literally could be Keegan Murray.
I think that's the player comp for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, I don't want to use him twice, but they play so similarly.
and
I
they
think
look so similar.
Keegan was a better shooter, but in terms of just everything they do, they're so they play so similar and their play
Yeah.
style so valuable.
Yeah,
They're good rebounders, good scorer in general.
yeah.
It's always gonna be reliable. So now we got Houston at 20.
Derek Whitehead.
Derek Whitehead, I like it.
He's a
Archie
beast.
Jarik, I don't know. But yeah, so he had an injury riddled year at Duke. He's a good 3-and-D guy. He has potential to be more. He's a high upside pick. I like this pick for the Rockets. Yeah. So player comp, I would say like an Andrew Wiggins as well. He doesn't have quite the explosiveness that Wiggins has due to his injuries, but I think he could get back to that level. He's He's a great 3-and-D guy. Not the best passer, but
You're hitting your threes and you're playing defense.
I mean he's really the player everyone wants to
AJ
have.
Griffin, another AJ.
And
Griffin.
AJ Griffin. That's
He
a
also
good
came
comp.
out of Duke.
They were both excellent shooters, both excellent defenders, both slid in the draft because of injuries.
AJ
did
Griffin
they
was
extend?
great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Rockets
What
really.
pick was AJ? Is he like 16? Right, I think he's like 14. I don't remember.
Oh, I'll go check all that.
But he was projected to go pretty high. I think I had him as high as like
really.
16.
Yeah, he was 16 overall. Or yeah,
a stud pick.
yeah, that's a good pick. But yeah, I mean, and especially for the Rockets, I mean they're pretty good overall. They could use some defense and they can use some 3-point shooting, and that's exactly what he has.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually a really good pick
And
for.
he also has the upside that they're looking for to rebuilding franchise. So
Yeah,
I think that's perfect.
yeah, I agree.
Brooklyn at 21.
And 22.
Smith Jr.
So yeah, Nick Smith Jr. really high, recruited guy. Just it wasn't that he was really inconsistent in college, but he still has the upside that you got to take him in the first round. And I think he's a good fit here in Brooklyn. And they have 2 back-to-back picks, so they could splurge a little bit on projected talent. My comp for him would probably be like a D'Angelo Russell, and which is good because he's ending up in Brooklyn.
That's true. And
Yeah.
D'Lo was good in Brooklyn too.
Yeah.
Bones Highland.
Bones Highland, that's another pick.
Player comp.
Comp. Jeez, I don't know why I'm losing the word.
I don't know. I got you.
That's another comp I like. Yeah, he's kind of like the sporadic type point guard.
Kind of flashy. Though.
Very flashy. Yeah. I like the pick for Brooklyn.
Yeah, and then-
they're lacking secondary scoring, I think,
Yeah,
behind Mikal Bridges.
yeah.
I mean,
they-
consistent secondary
yeah.
scoring, I should say. And obviously Nick Smith isn't, but maybe at some point.
and they might get rid of Dinwiddie too, so therefore Nick Smith is good.
Cam Johnson's a restricted free agent.
Yeah, it's
So depending on how much he gets.
yeah. And then, like you said, the Nets have the pick right after too, so they can kind of do whatever they want with those 2 picks.
Yeah.
But who do you think they should take next?
That's who I was thinking. Noah Clowney out of Alabama, the power forward.
Center.
Power forward center. I mean, he's big enough to play either. 6'10", 205, freshman.
He gets rebound.
He gets rebounds. He could score. I mean, he could do spot up scoring. Wasn't the greatest 3-point shooter, but he's young. That's another high upside type of guy. Probably as high upside as he'll get. And at the end of the day, he could rebound, he could defend, so he's going to get minutes.
Yeah.
And I think it's a solid pick for sure. NBA comp.
Dang.
There's someone out there.
Claxton.
Claxton, he's a better shooter than Claxton, but I like it in general.
Yeah,
And he's going to Brooklyn with Claxton.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
he might end up being kind of like a Claxton who's a better shooter.
Yeah,
Because they're both lengthy.
they're both lengthy, tall,
Skinny and tall.
athletic.
Yeah.
I like
Good
I
at
like-
defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that front court eventually could be really dynamic together.
True. And especially because if you have him with Claxton, you're playing him as power forward too, that the shooting helps so much more because you don't have 2 guys who have to be in the paint the whole time.
So we got the Blazers again. They picked Brandon Miller early on. So they're filling that forward scoring need a little bit. I think here they should go for a defensive wing. So I think here I kind of like Hami
I like
Hines.
Julian Phillips.
Julian Phillips out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh, Jaime Hines.
He's nice.
He is nice. Another good wing. Ben Shepherd of the Belmont. I've heard good things about. I haven't watched him extensively
Jordan
yet.
Walsh.
Jordan Walsh. I've
Dude,
heard
he's a
really good
dog.
things about. He's a dog.
Yeah.
I could see him coming in the first round. Jalen Wilson's another guy that I really like. But I think for now, I think they would go, assuming they're, well, so assuming if they're keeping the 3rd pick, I assume that means they are moving off of Dane. Or I mean, they're going to want It's I don't know. What I'm trying to say.
I didn't know. I can't help you out of it.
They're looking to continue the youth movement, I should say. So
But with them,
yeah, with Dame, kind of like a Chris Paul with the Thunder, or Chris Paul with the Suns, or Chris Paul with the Wizards type situation. Yeah. So I like Ryan Rupert here, out of France. Well, he's from France, but he played in Australia.
Leonard Miller.
Leonard Miller.
Get a big.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go back and pick Leonard Miller out of the G League Ignite. So Leonard Miller, my comp for him would probably be like a Darius Baisley, but that's kind of putting a because Darius Baisley, it's not great.
he's not in a great situation right now.
Yeah, and he's getting French minutes, if even.
He's like
If
Embiid.
He's
Um,
like got no minutes.
But yeah, I mean he's Embiid. I want to go that far. I mean,
Yeah, I have to go get after
Yeah.
him, but like
in terms of defensive prowess, he's going to be really good. He's also a really good playmaker. He can handle the ball a little bit. Sucks on offense right now. That's just brutally honest. I mean, he scored 16 a game, I believe. But
he shot 55%, 55.5%.
what I should say is he sucks at shooting.
like middies.
3-point.
Both, I think, in my opinion.
I mean,
he's just
Like I said,
He's a paint guy. He's like a Darius Baisley.
yeah,
Or
scored
like a
really.
Joel, like a knockoff
yo.
Walmart. Knockoff Walmart.
and knock off
Kmart. A Kmart edition of Joel Embiid.
Damn club.
Yeah, Sam's Club. Hey, don't disrespect Sam's Club.
Don't disrespect their Walmart.
Costco.
Whatever.
You're disrespecting Walmart, dude.
All we're trying to say is he's good there.
Yeah.
He's good. He's just not quite as good as the comp that we're
Yeah.
making.
But yeah, I think he could be a guy like that. You know, like a okay inside scorer. Nicholas Claxton, another guy that I like to. I know we were
I
used
think
like
Nick Claxton's more.
I think he's a better passer. I don't even
I just
know.
didn't want to repeat.
Yeah.
But I think he's a closer than Nick Claxton.
Yeah. Like, he's a better passer than Nick.
Guys, let's just make it clear. Noah Cloudy. Same build, both 6'10", 210.
He's a better Noah.
And we already used Claxton for Clowney, so therefore you might as well use Clowney. It's perfect.
Well, he's better than No Clowney, I think, but No Clowney can be better than. I think
So you
that's a
think
high
higher-
ceiling.
You think Leonard Miller is better right now, but Clowney is better.
Unless Leonard Miller becomes.
I feel like
Yes.
I feel like Leonard Miller could have a really high ceiling.
Ben Simmons in Brooklyn, who's what I would compare,
We already used Ben Simmons too.
but not in Brooklyn.
All
Oh,
right,
you Sixers, but
Yeah.
we used careers.
All right, moving on. Sacramento pick 24. Here,
I don't know.
Sacramento.
Jalen Wilson.
Pick 20.
Jalen Wilson,
Oh, that could be nice replacing Harrison Martin.
Harrison Barnes.
Or you could get Jaime Jaquez.
But
Yeah, those are the two.
Hacker.
Jaime
I
Jaquez
love,
from UCLA.
Oh, I remember. He's a guard.
Well,
He's
he's a
guard
forward.
forward. He's guard head, but he could play forward.
Well, on here it says he's a small forward, power forward.
Yeah, we played for him.
I mean, he handles the ball.
Yeah, that's true. But that could be a good
Hey,
pickup for
Pepper's fun.
King.
You know, he's white. I thought he was like a different nationality. He's just white.
Do you think he was like Mexican or mixed?
Yeah,
He's just white though.
Are you Mexican?
apparently.
It's too many things based off names now.
Ooh, or Jordan Walsh.
Jordan Walsh is
Oh.
another guy I like. But
For the Kings.
And he could replace.
Go.
in Sacramento's situation, they're trying to win now, and Jordan Walsh is kind of a project. Jordan Walsh is like a Matisse Thybulle type of guy.
I like how you saw that
This
coming.
is the Matisse Thybulle for
I don't
Yes,
think
right.
anyone. He's more explosive
I mean,
on offense.
offensively. He could be better than Matisse Thybulle, but defensively, they're very
They're
similar. They're
He'll be better than
they're
Matisse
spongy. I like to say they're just always
Right there.
right there.
Second thing's up.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like Jalen Wilson going here. I mean, it's a bit high on this draft board. I don't agree with him being ranked 42. I think he's a stud.
Oh, I have Walsh 27 over here.
We're talking about Jalen Wilson. pal.
Oh, Oops.
Walsh at 42 right here is also kind of disrespectful. But
Jordan Walsh is at 40.
yeah,
Not 42.
I said 40 TOO.
Let's just turn the captions on, all right? See what the captions say.
Lost my train of thought. But yeah,
Joel.
Jalen Wilson, I think he's gonna be a really good team. He's gonna be a good team player. He's gonna fit Sacramento perfectly. I think a comp for him would be like a Harrison Barnes type. If he could accelerate his catch and
Like
shoot.
who?
Didn't listen.
Who? Who's the better?
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes.
Who's your comp?
Mark Jordan. Not there.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm comparing Grady Dick to Klay Thompson.
That's
Yeah,
a
but
good
he's-
comparison.
And he's
That's
like
a
a
little
Warriors
high.
fan too, so he's like,
I know, but Klay Thompson's arguably a top 75 player.
You're saying with Warriors, man?
no, I said he's not a Warriors
I don't know why he's referenced Warriors.
because he plays with the Warriors.
Oh yeah.
So what?
Anyways, he's a Kansas fan.
They're
Um,
my team.
what?
I said they're my team.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's never lived in Kansas.
Yeah, I don't even think he's ever been to Kansas.
But he's a Kansas fan. But I respect it.
I mean, to be fair, I like teams from Oklahoma. I've been there once for like it's over
He likes to
36
pay-
hours.
Yeah,
Like,
he likes the Pacers too.
no reason. There's
I've
no
never
reason.
been
For some reason,
I've never been to
we're
Indiana.
all Spurs fans for no reason.
Oh, that's weird. Because I mean, why would you?
I mean, we just
Why
live
would
in
you root
Kansas.
for the team that lives that's in shit?
That's it's really good.
Whoa, we do not live in San Antonio. Live in New York.
I don't know why he did that, but okay. Oh no, our 3 viewers know where we live.
It's like 9. Okay.
8 of them are me.
Not the shorts. The shorts
The
is
shorts.
900.
Yeah. That's the 2 shorts that we put out.
I think it's 3
Watch,
actually.
this is gonna be our biggest video with like 300 views.
Yeah.
I will take it. Subscribe.
Okay, moving
Let's
on.
go to the Grizzlies.
Right here I like
I don't know anyone else besides Counter Guard, so I think you have to do it the best.
Well, Jordan Walsh is still out.
Oh,
We haven't taken him yet. either.
Jordan Wall replacing Dylan Brooks.
I'm going to
We haven't
rain
taken
a
Ben.
parade on all of you guys.
We haven't taken Ben Shepherd yet.
What are you gonna say, Ryan Rupert?
I was going to take Ben Shepherd out of Belmont Academy.
Uh,
I don't know if it's
Belmore.
Belmont.
Well, it's Belmore. It's probably a spelling error.
It's Belmont. You know, it kind of feels like a Grizzly player. Can you do a
Horrible.
little bit of horrible? Dude,
Jordan Walsh, bro.
dude
Would be perfect.
Ben Shepherd's better than Jordan Walsh.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Jordan Walsh is good, but Ben Shepherd's a dog.
Yeah, he played with Belmont.
Actually,
Who
Ben
do they
Shepherd,
play?
okay.
Who does Belmont play?
Did they make the tournament? I don't think so.
No.
He's good. All right.
Jordan Walsh beat my Kansas.
Jordan Walsh did it.
That's why he loves him.
Arkansas.
Kansas. Who he also likes because it has Kansas in the name.
Can't Arkansas owns Kansas.
Sorry.
No, they don't.
It's like,
Who won the championship the year before? Kansas.
Arkansas beat the champions.
The defending.
So.
They can't be the champions if they didn't even go to the championship. You idiot.
All right. Moving on to the Pacers. Wait. Oh, Ben Shepherd. The Anthony. Kind of a do it all.
I think he
he's
played-
bigger than. Ben.
He's like Kobe, honestly. I'm not joking. I've never watched him play, but he's on Belmont. I don't know who Belmont plays.
This dude's the casual. He only watches Kansas.
Yep.
And Arkansas.
Arkansas.
So just let's make him happy and take Jordan Wall for Indiana now, okay?
Would
And that could
have
work.
as our local
That-
Indiana Pacers fan?
Our local. I mean, I think that could be a pretty good pickup or draft pick. It's another forward, and we could use forward.
I would take
and especially if we lose
at
Buddy
this
Hield.
position. I would take Brandon. Can't say his last name.
Don't-
Pod.
Podzismitsky.
No. That's definitely not insane. But I would take him.
Optimistic.
Oh,
Optimistic. We're going with Optimistic.
actually, it's Podziemski.
Podziemski.
That's Podziemski.
That's definitely not right.
How do you know?
You don't know any of these. I already know you messed up on one of the names before.
Anyway, I think that's who we should take here. My
Or
con-
Jaime.
But we already have
Maybe that was
McConnell,
Mexican.
Hill, Halliburton, Nemhard, Matherin.
We could take Jaime.
yeah, but I think we should still take him.
I think Walsh is a better fit.
Yeah.
I'm the local Indiana fan here, okay?
Well, okay, we'll take Walsh. We'll take Jordan Walsh. Elite defender, improving offensive game. My conference rival.
More like Twilight.
Oh my gosh.
All right, then. Well, we'll just go to the Hornets then. So
I don't want to repeat players.
if the Hornets take,
Where do you put this title?
For Jordan Walsh.
yeah, that was for Walsh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan Rupert has fallen far enough. I'm picking him for the Hornets. He's a big wing.
That's a good pick though.
3-and-D type of guy. Potential. A comp for him.
I'm taking Kelly Jordan, man.
We already
He was
took.
supposed to go 16.
No, we didn't. I thought we
That man was supposed to go 16. And he's out at what pace?
Oh, he'll
We're at
be-
27.
He'll keep falling.
Oh, dude, the Jazz could take either Brandon or Keontae George.
I think the Jazz here take Brian. Oh, not Brian. Bryce.
Bryce.
Bryce Sensabaugh.
Yeah. You're gonna take. I'm not gonna click anyone.
Bryce Sensabaugh, elite scorer. As a freshman.
Where is he? Oh, Julian Phillips, man.
Michael Phelps.
That dude's a
No,
dog.
Bryce Sensabaugh's better. Out of Ohio State.
What you talking about?
Kind of the small forward, probably bigger shooting guard type guy. I don't know. He has some defensive concerns, some playmaking concerns, but he could put the ball in the basket. I think a good comparison. A good comparison to Cam Thomas.
Like LeBron James.
Yes. Michael Jordan.
You said Dwight Howard.
So who are the Pacers taking though?
Dwight Howard.
I don't know. It's crazy. Pacers will take.
They'll take Brandon Rupert.
He's gone.
Oh yeah, you took him earlier.
Oh my gosh.
I think here you take Jaime Jaquez.
The fake Mexican.
It's Jaime.
It's Tommy.
Good rebounder, good
Fake
scorer.
Mexican. Like he's got skills. Spit built.
He can shoot the three.
What Bills is his name?
Them NCAA bills.
I think he's getting money from the NCAA.
Dang it.
Probably is.
He's a senior.
Yes.
I don't want him.
No one wants that guy.
Guys,
Jaime.
Steph Curry was a senior.
I know.
Steph Curry was also Steph Curry.
Yeah, well, Jaime's Jaime.
Jalen Wilson's a junior.
That's better than
So who's your player comp?
For Jaime Jaquez?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Jerry Lin.
Brown is my player count.
That's more like Jared.
Good defender, can handle the ball, can shoot the three. Just the perfect role player in my eyes. I mean, he's got some inconsistencies. That's why he's going to league. But I think he'd be good in the league. 30th pick, we got the Los Angeles Clippers. The last pick we'll be making.
I was about to say.
I'm not doing another round with these doofuses.
You don't even know what you're talking about, man.
I think here,
What did it look?
Take Phillips.
no.
What about Keontae George?
So it's that's a Keontae George or
Brandon helped us everything.
Guys, I swear I did research on these guys.
Brandon
Podziemski.
Brandon Podziemski.
I think here you go, Brandon.
Podziemski.
Also, next Shaquille O'Neal.
No. Luke Kennard is my player comp for him. He's
Dang,
a better,
that's good.
yeah, he's a better ball handler than Luke Kennard. And he, for a shooting guard, is a crazy rebounder.
He's
Good.
also on San
Good
player.
Jalen Williams is on San player.
Overlay, what?
They played
I
better
don't
than I go.
Didn't they play like UNC?
UNC
Fielder.
No, that was
UNC Asheville.
that was UCF.
UNC.
Well, that was UCF that played them.
Whatever.
beside the point.
Also, Jada clearly pretty good. He
Actually, he's a lefty. He wants the bonus.
It's not that I talk about this.
Scores, rebound, and does an assist. The bonus, man. And a lefty.
Well, can he finish on the opposite side of the basket?
And they both got weird names.
So, yes.
So he got
So,
like bonus.
he has a crazy good floater, crazy good mid range.
The bonus can unload.
He's not.
He can't finish non-dominant at the hoop.
He,
The bonus can finish at the
okay.
hoop.
He's also
Not non-dominant.
he's also the
What's
best.
happening?
I thought he played basketball.
Dude, this game is.
Oh, on the right side.
Yes.
For him, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Elite shooter. Good rebounder for his size. Like I said, Luke Kennard, which all the other shooters.
It's trash. I could cook on the one.
You just say he's crazy. Okay. That'll be all for the mock drafts. I don't know if we have anything more to talk about.
I don't think we do.
Some doofuses here, man.
So we'll see y'all hopefully next week.
Next time.
We'll be grading the drafts, and then we'll give our thoughts on some of the offseason moves potentially. Yeah.
Please subscribe.
Yes.
I like the enthusiasm on that one.
Subscribe, like, whatever. See ya.